Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Phantom Strategies. So in this video, I want to talk about, Bitcoin price action, what to expect into this week, and pretty much my theory that the price action we are seeing in the Bitcoin is not isolated with the global markets. All right, it's not isolated with what we have been witnessing in the global market. So just wanted to give you like a quick recap on what I'm looking at and why I keep on saying that the the price action in Bitcoin is not isolated event. It's a global event. Like don't think that if there's something happen in the global market, it won't affect Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies because it will. It's not isolated event. So just to quickly recap, let's look at the bigger time frame for the daily in Bitcoin. So we got out of this falling wedge pattern that we have been following for quite a while now. We broke out of it, tried to make a room toward 9,000. We hit that 9,000 mark yesterday, but we are waiting to see the follow through on that. For that to breaking that 9,000 mark and making the run toward 10,000 mark. 10,000 is a very psychological number as well, so I have a feeling that we will definitely make a run toward 10,000 mark before hopefully before this weekend. And we really need to actually make that run toward 10,000 in order to get the confidence in the investors, in order to get the long-term bulls back into the market. So it's very critical that we actually make that run toward 10,000 mark this week. All right. I had made a video last on Friday that we are heading toward 10,000, and the one thing that is lacking is the volume. But if I go to a smaller time frame, I see there's a volume picking up on both sides actually, on bulls and bears. Both sides trying to fight it out at this 9,000, 8,500, 9,000 level. There's a lot of price action, that is a lot of trading that is going on around that level. So we need to have in order for bulls to win the battle, I think we definitely need some support from the global markets. So make sure you're not ignoring the global markets. That is also a lot of time people like in cryptocurrency they are get so stuck with the just crypto world they completely forget about the global outcomes, like what is going on in the global economy. The reason for most part of like 2017 that you haven't seen like a major people kind of did not like pay attention to the global market is because we had this tremendous leg up, and since then we in the last few weeks and days we had like a huge pullback, and we have seen those ripple effect into in the Bitcoin price in the price action into cryptocurrency price action. So what I'm trying to say is, um, please do not ignore the global market because they are tied together, whether you like it or not. Investors are investors. They, the so there are three type of investors in my opinion. Like one, there are retail investors who are like just buying in, holding it for long terms. Then there are like this small day traders who are like buying it on the swing trades, buying it on the dips, selling it on the highs. They're just pretty much like day-to-day actions. And there are like more of a value and retail investors who usually come into the market when they see a good value into a coin, into any asset class. And that's what we are expecting a lot of investors to come in around that 5,000 support levels. All right. And we saw that we had a huge value that a lot of people came into that 5,500 6,000 mark. That was that because it provided a lot of good value. But the fundamental is not fundamental hasn't changed. Fundamental, like whatever you know fundamentals we have behind the Bitcoin or like any of the major coins hasn't changed overnight. It's only been few weeks. So it's just like it's just buyers thinking pattern and the strategies that we need to kind of like look at what they're looking, what they might be thinking. So try to get a like and getting and like helping our trade setup with the technicals that we're looking at as well. All right. Um, basically, what I'm right now, where I'm trying to see is like if we can stay over this 20-day for intermediate, we want to make sure that we are staying over the 20-day moving average, um, and we are basically like we have this kind of inverse head and shoulder pattern. If you can see this, like nice inverse head and shoulder pattern in the building. But it's just like people are bears and bulls are trying to just fight it out right now, which direction we want to go in. I'm more of a bullish in my viewpoint for at least for the short term, making our room toward that 10,000 mark, and then we can reevaluate the situation based on that. But at least for the short term, I think we have a room to run toward that 10,000 mark for short term. I'm keeping an eye on the global market because that will, if we have any, if there are a lot of like sellers that comes in at like 24, 2600, 2700 and put their short position, because that is the now that is going to act as a resistance. The 2700 level that will act as a resistance. So if there is enough shorts and the bulls are not confident to hold a longer position, then we can definitely have a one leg down, that, and that will have effect on Bitcoin price action too. I'm not saying that we'll see a new low. What I'm saying is we might see like a retracement that might come up to 7500 if we break that 8000 level support. So what do you want to do is you want to like as I have said it yesterday too, when you are seeing your gains, like if you're seeing like that 50-60% gains within 2-3 days, take something off the table. You never go broke taking profits. So always like take something off the table, because you will always have a better opportunity, or opportunity will always come. But what you need to do is become a disciplined investors. All right. Being a disciplined investors will always have a advantage in long run. um, don't get hyped up with like, hey, I'm gonna make 100% gains in one coin and I'm gonna hit the home runs. If you keep trying to hit the home runs, you're gonna get striked out. All right. So don't be those investor that wants to like take every coin to the moon, because you will get burned out. You'll get striked out. You will have a position where you are just holding on to the losing trades. Then you realize that out of 5 coins that you're holding, 4 of them are a losing trade, and one of them you made some money on it. But that one that you made money is pretty much just offsetting the losses on the 4 that you had a massive losses on. So overall portfolio, what your overall portfolio is still is might be at the best case, it might be break even, or you might be in negative. So um, the overall goal here is to obviously make profits and not be on the negative side. So you want to make sure you're setting those portfolio up or properly, you're taking the gains when they're coming on your way, you're like reinvesting, like there is no day trading limits on it. So I mean, if there is a good gain that you're seeing, then take some off table. When you have this retracement, you can put something back on it again. So just don't get like um just buy it and just like just hope for the best. I think those are very hopeful thinking, and I usually it doesn't work. And it might work with one coin, it might work with 2 coins, but in long run, I'm telling you, it will come to a point where you get into some of those coins which will make you like you'll regret it that you have holded it for so long, and those profit that you should have taken those profit and you did not take those profit, and now you're just at break even point, or worse situation, you're like down 20, 30, 50% into a trade that you had like 200%, 300% returns just few weeks ago. All right, so keep those things in mind. Be mindful. Don't ignore the global event signs. They are very important in my opinion. I think it will really, uh, in order to have the big investor to come into the market, we need to have a good positive global economy as well. All right, because like when the investors see this like a major dip, they are also seeing the opportunities in other like stock markets, other markets. They are not just seeing just Bitcoin. For um, to the developer community, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, it might be like their like bread and butter. It might be like hey, this is the thing that's gonna be. This is my lifestyle. This is how I'm gonna retire. They have invested all their energy into cryptocurrency, into like Bitcoin or whatever, Ethereum, Litecoin. But as a institutional investor, as a hedge fund investor, their objective is to make money for their client and for themselves. So they are not attached. They are very emotionless. All right, let me put it that they don't have any emotions to Bitcoin. They don't have any emotions to any cryptocurrency like the whatever like the technology that they're trying to the crypto community trying to come up with. They care about making money. All right, they care about making money for their clients. Care about making money for themselves, for their firms. So I mean, so keep in mind, they will, if they see a better opportunity in the global market, which is like which dropped like 10%, they might be like, hey, there might be a good opportunity in S&P 500 or in Nasdaq, that I'm seeing some coins like, or sorry, seeing some stocks that are trading at discount right now, and I want to I want to keep them rather than coming into cryptocurrencies where like it's not regulated market. So you will see a lot of investors, like the institutional investors, the small hedge funds that will come into cryptocurrencies. They are kind of like a very agile type of small um, small hedge funds that can like get in and out of position quite fast, because they are the position they will come up with, it will be like significant position, but it won't be a position like where it's gonna like move the market single-handedly, because if that happens, then they will be paying double triple the amount that we are sitting at right now. um, so I hope this helps. And so just the main purpose of the video is to kind of like let you know that the global market is not isolated with the cryptocurrency market. I think they really go hand in hand. Whatever the weakness we are seeing in the global market, it will reflect on the cryptocurrency price action, at least for the short term. Okay, until we get out of um, this uncertainty area. At least for the short term, I have a feeling that we need to really monitor the global market carefully. All right. Just to wrap it up, I see this head and shoulder inverse head and shoulder pattern building up. In order to break that inverse head and shoulder neckline, we need to go past beyond that 9,000 mark. All right, so we need to pass beyond that 9,000 mark, and we need to do it with a high volume. Volume is the key thing, in my opinion, that will kind of really give us a good confirmation and good satisfaction that hey, we are moving in the right direction toward that 10,000 mark, and possibly beyond. All right, so for short term, keep an eye on those resistance level. Look at the volume. That will also dictate a lot of things. Look at the global market. That will also indicate what you should be expecting. On the weekly, as I mentioned in my previous video, weekly looks pretty good to me. We had this hammer pattern that happened that took place on weekly, which indicates the reversal. So that's another reason I think that we have a room toward 10,000 this week. And I was hoping that it happened sooner rather than later, but we are not getting that enough volume in the market yet. There are a lot of investors, I feel like they're sitting on the sideline right now just to see like the global events. We had a huge major drop off in the global event, and they might be saying, hey, we might get a bounce, but there might be another leg down. So they might be sitting on the down or sideline and just like waiting for that down leg to get into the market with a better price average. A lot of time it worked. Sometime that leg down might not happen, and what will create is um, the FOMO, fear of missing out. A lot of there's a lot of people who are just sitting on the sideline. They're like, hey, there will be a down leg, there will be a down leg. But if that doesn't happen, then and we are keep on pumping it up, then those investors will like, oh, okay, we have seen the lows. I don't want to miss another leg up, so they will start crowding the market and take the price action higher. That's just like a fear of missing out, and that's where that's where you don't want to you want to sell it to those guys who wants to, they have those thinking pattern. When other are fearful, you want to buy. When other are greedy, you want to sell. All right, keep it simple. When others are fearful, you want to buy. When others are greedy, you want to sell. All right. So on that note, I will end this video. I will create some more altcoin videos for you and later in the day today. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and hit those notification icon. I do the video review every day. Post the new content every day on cryptocurrency, on the market research. What are the signs that you should be looking out for? It's just not all about the technicals. All right, let me put it, some people get so stuck with technicals they really ignore the fundamentals. But the real key is to, have technicals and fundamentals, combine it, consolidate it, and then analyze the whole picture, rather than getting this one part of it from the technical side, and or just only doing it from the fundamental. The key is to analyze the whole picture, getting it the right time, right place at the right time. I mean, Bitcoin is amazing, but it depends how you got in. If you got in at 20,000, you probably like crying fool right now. If you're getting it at if you got in around 6,000, you'll be like, oh, Bitcoin is amazing. It's like the best thing that ever happened to you. So it really, what I'm trying to say is like how you get into the coin or where you start trading it will dictate a lot of things. All right, and you in that if you combine the fundamentals and the technicals, you will always come as a winner. All right, so all in all, that's pretty much my um, you know morning speech on Bitcoin and what to look out for. If you think this was helpful, if you want to see more of this video, please give me likes. Please give me a like on the video, and I will create more content. All right, thank you.